Hey everybody, welcome into another episode of Before the Crowd with me, your host, Guy Monk. In this week's episode, I'm going to be talking to Sammy Penniston, who is the bass player for one of the hottest new indie rock bands in the UK. The name of the band is Lunar, so they have over 70,000 monthly Spotify listeners. That's a hell of a lot of listeners. In Sammy's spare time, he is also a studio engineer, and in this episode he tells us some stories about being on tour, some anecdotes about being on the road, some funny stories that happened to him, and the past, the present and the future of his band Lunar, what we can expect from upcoming gigs, new music that's coming out in 2020. Let's crack on with the show. Thank you for coming and having a chat about general music and spilling water on the table.
Sorry.
So I just kind of wanted to have like a bit of a general chat. Really, obviously you're a member, the bass player.
Yes.
Of the band Lunar.
Yep.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the band, how you guys got started, what you've been doing recently, and kind of where you're going in the future. So how did it all begin for you guys in Lunar?
So, first, Connor, lead singer, and Alex, they were on the foundation course.
Okay.
So they did an extra year to me and Rye, so they knew each other for a year before. Alex ended up living with Connor in the first few months of their first year.
Okay.
Because Alex had nowhere to stay, apparently. I think somewhere he was gonna be living fell through or something. So he made friends with Connor really quickly and sort of lived with him for a few months. So they were already quite close friends by the time we all met. But it was Alex who really encouraged Connor to write songs, and because Connor's a drummer, he was on the drum course.
Okay.
With Alex, that's why they were particularly close. And so, but Connor also sings and plays guitar, obviously. So Alex sort of was encouraging him to write songs, because I think he'd shown him some songs and thought they were good, and
Kind of took it to
worth,
the next
worth
level.
Pursuing.
Okay. So you guys you predominantly met at university then?
Yes. Yeah. All of us. Yeah. And then I met Alex at a house party in the first few weeks of uni, probably like November time.
Cool.
And he offered me a big bottle of Budweiser. I thought, this is a good guy. And then I think I don't think he talked to me about joining the band that night. I think it was later on. I think he sort of approached me at some point, a few months probably.
I guess
I
guess it's funny, isn't it, how you say like it just starts at a house party, because
yeah.
I think so many bands in the industry, and I'm not saying they're not successful, because of course plenty of them are, but like sometimes when you just start as friends, you get a certain vibe and a certain positive energy in a lot of bands, I find.
What, as opposed to being...
I guess it depends on the
together.
Yeah, well, I suppose it depends on the approach and what the band wants to achieve.
Yeah.
If you're just a bunch of session players playing for an artist, it's very professional, and maybe you guys don't know each other as friends. But when you go through, kind of building it from the ground up,
yes,
I think like people are generally a lot more invested in the future of the band.
I think so, yeah.
It's not just a gig.
Yes. Yeah. I think with being at BIM, in the first year, I was in like 3 or 4 bands at one point, including Lunar Bay. Although that was towards the end where we started doing stuff. So it was, at first it was kind of just, something I was doing, part of, I was seeing it as, just something to do alongside, doing a degree.
Right.
Rather than like a really like serious thing. I think it wasn't until we did, we played Live and Lyrical, which was, Under the Bridge, where we just played one song, and we pretty much, a few months later from that, we got our manager, but as a direct result of that, because there were people there who got us in contact with various people. And, so that was sort of quite a big moment, because that's like, wow, okay, it's
taking off.
Has
It's going somewhere.
suddenly become something quite not serious, but you know, it's something that's definitely worth pursuing. So I think that was certainly like the first. It was the first thing we ever did. First time we played live, and we pretty much only had that song. So we had people come in, like A&R guys came in to see us rehearse, and we only had like this one song, Colours, and then I think maybe one or two others. Okay. I think there's a bit of disagreement about this in the band. Some of us say we just had one song, or but I'm sure we played 3 songs or something. But yeah, it was. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I think that was. It's kind of suddenly very out of nowhere became like a thing that was quite interesting.
Did you find that having, I suppose it's different, like if you play a gig and you know there's industry contacts in the audience and you're kind of in adrenaline mode, you know, in the gig, as opposed to being in a rehearsal room where obviously a lot of us as musicians, that's where you work the mistakes out. Was that quite a scary experience?
I'm trying to remember it. I think it's slightly awkward because we were a really like fresh band. We had no like stage presence really, and you can't it's really difficult to perform in front of like 4 people, and they sort of, you know,
in a rehearsal space, but you're quite cramped.
You know, although it was, you know, one of the big rooms downstairs.
Okay, so you had a bit of space to move
it
around.
wasn't too bad. It wasn't like they were all like standing like face to face, but it was still sort of slightly strange experience, and I think they were all a bit sort of expecting us to have loads of songs, so they were kind of
a bit of an awkward moment.
Yeah, but it wasn't you know, they were, it was good that they were interested, but one of them worked for our manager, Ben Carter.
Okay.
So he was working at Global before. He's since left and set up his own business, really, management company. Okay. So it was through one of his colleagues at Global that he got into contact with us, and yeah.
How did you find the approach, kind of the relationships in the band? Like, I guess before a lot of bands get management, it's often maybe one person does the merch or one person books the gigs or, you know, promotes it on social media. When you get a manager, how do you think that affects the band?
I think with Ben, he's especially at the start, he would just be the one really pushing us to just really write more songs, get stage presence, looking good, image in a way, like nothing. He wasn't pushing anything. He always says like he has no idea about this, you know, his fashion stuff. But just to, you know, put it in your minds as something to, you know, work on. But I think he's kind of more behind the scenes, like pushing us to people he knows, showing our songs to people. I think we focus predominantly on, you know, social media, getting, you know, and sorting out at first gigs. But we have a booking agent now, which helps a lot.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So take some of the responsibility up,
and
you can just focus on the music.
Mostly now we're just focusing on, you know, writing songs and trying to book, you know, recording dates.
No, which is fantastic. I had a listen to, obviously before the interview today, I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to put the Lunar Bay EP on Spotify, and like, I saw you guys got like 72,000 monthly listeners or something. I saw,
yeah,
which
I haven't
is
looked at it recently actually. Yeah,
it's a huge number.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, for where we are, yeah, it's certainly it's been Spotify's been good. Yeah.
How do you think? Because I think there's a lot of maybe up and coming bands that maybe lacking kind of in that area, or they just don't know how to get to, from 100 monthly listeners to 1,000. What do you think are the best ways to sort of climb that ladder?
It is difficult sometimes because a lot of the time it is just luck that someone, I think, we had a manager, who had decent contacts and sort of helped push us to Spotify as well. So we got our biggest song, Hometown, got put on a really good playlist for a long time, and that's why it's sort of accumulated lots of streaming. Right,
okay.
But
that's the key then, the playlists.
Playlists is really important because they're the sort of things they go on in cafes and, I think Connor was in River Island, would be a little while ago now because it was when Hometown was fairly recently released and it was just playing.
Wow.
So it's kind of
very trippy experience.
Yeah, it's weird and like and just in, I think my parents have heard it in a cafe somewhere, really random places. Yeah, so that's the sort of thing. It's not quite the same as someone buying it. This is the thing with Spotify. It's and playlists. It's not like someone's. It's not necessarily a gauge of people really like loving it, but it's still it's not, obviously there's a good amount of people who are just listening to it out of because they like it, but if you're on a playlist you're not necessarily being it's just background
okay
in a way, but
no, I think that's a really honest answer, actually, because it is something people get torn up on a lot.
I think you've kind of just got to accept that's part of it. In the modern music industry, people don't really buy music that much unless it's something that they really like. People tend to buy vinyl now. That's like become a huge thing again.
Right.
Is that I think generally, I don't know. People maybe do still buy physical CDs, maybe, but I don't know. It's not like Spotify is so accessible, and any other streaming service that you almost don't need to own your music physically. At least for me, anyway. I tend to just buy the odd record,
right?
And of an album I really like, but that could be a second-hand thing as well.
Absolutely.
So it's not necessarily even like a new thing.
And they're so expensive as well. To buy a brand new vinyl out of the shops, it's like £20-30 upwards for most of them for an album.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, you go to a charity shop or a second-hand shop.
You can get some,
like £50 a vinyl. And I used to do that a lot. And then it becomes something that people do, is you build up your vinyl collection.
Yeah.
But I remember reading an article recently, and Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer, in 2019, got 500 million streams on Spotify.
Wow.
Still and that's 40 years after it was released.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how much we actually generated from that revenue-wise, but it can't be anywhere near what that would be from 500 million singles actually physically being sold. But
I guess it's like 1 billion like that because it's so. I guess it will be on playlists as well.
It's iconic.
But it's people will be playing that song all the time. I guess I think it's just a thing with Spotify, just because it's so easy to play music. You feel like you're not committing to buying it. You're just playing it. It's just
and you're tasting it almost, aren't you?
Yeah.
I suppose.
There's a lot of skipping.
Do you guys are you bringing out a vinyl for the EP that you've released, or do you have one out?
No, we haven't got any physical releases. It's something we'd love to do. I think in some ways just for ourselves to have an actual physical record of our music,
to hold it in your hand.
So this is what we've done.
It's
before even thinking about selling it as for people to buy. But I think it's definitely something we'll we'd want to do at some point. I think it's it's always a case of money and where we want to.
Of course,
You got to focus money on certain things. Like if you got enough to do it, then do it. But I think it depends on where we are, and
I think the thing with vinyl is because to actually make the pressing of it and the grooves, and obviously because it's a unique disc, to press that for, I think like 500 copies costs X amount, but then to do it for 1,000 or 2,000 doesn't cost that much more because you've got the grooves on the disc, and that's what costs for money. So, as I understand it, I don't work
that sounds about
in
right.
vinyl. But like talking about physical music, the only people I really see with CDs much, because like so many HMVs and tiny little CD shops have closed up recently, is buskers. I see so many buskers still selling CDs.
Yeah. I've seen that as well. I fairly often go to open mic nights locally to where I live, just as a
why not
fun thing to watch. And loads of people sell CDs, and they sort of it's I don't know if that's if that's worth doing or not. I guess you have to have something in a way if you want to sell your music. So, but it's just. But I don't know. Maybe if you've got stuff on Spotify, then do you need to bother
doing a CD? Well, I've seen people. They have the little cards which has like a QR code on it, and you just scan it on your phone. It takes you straight to Spotify.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
It's the reality.
I think that's Well, I think that's probably if you I guess you will if you can sell the CDs, then you'll make more money more quickly probably than just like having a few streams on Spotify.
But I haven't even got a CD player anymore.
No, that's the thing. I don't. I mean, my computer doesn't even have a
disc drive.
drive.
Yeah, but same thing with mine. I need to get a new laptop. My MacBook has just crashed, which I'm told it's something to do with a hard drive, but I have no idea about kind of repairing it. So that's a separate issue. But yeah,
I broke mine recently. Well, not that recently, about a year ago. It was tragic. I dropped it.
That's not nice.
Smashed the screen. Yeah, no.
Call back for tears.
Yeah. It was that was a bad day.
Did you lose? Did you have like many songs in it or anything?
I mean, it still kind of worked, so I was able to back it up again.
Okay. And
save everything that was on there. Nothing like really. It was just more. There's lots of college work on there that I wanted to make sure I still had. But
I made the mistake when I changed from working on Logic 9 to Logic 10, and I didn't have that much space, so I was like, I'm going to take Logic 9 off my Mac because I don't need this program anymore. And I was like, I've got everything I need from this. Anything I need is either demos that have never amounted to anything, or songs that have been, gone the next step. And And then it was until about a year later, I was like, I wonder where this particular song is. I was like, oh no, whatever. And it was just for one song. And I asked all the other guys in the band who we worked on it with, I was like, has anyone got it? And they'd all done the same thing. And we were gutted. And I met up with these guys on Saturday, actually. Yeah. And, none of us had it.
Oh. I hate that. I hate losing things you want to work on. I've definitely done that before.
How about this for a segue? Talking about working on things. What are you guys doing now?
So we had a nice big break over Christmas because we were on tour for a couple of weeks in November.
Okay.
And we played Scala, which was amazing. Sold it out. Went to France as well, Paris.
Wow. Okay. How was Paris? Did you enjoy playing there?
It was certainly. I mean, it was a Saturday night, so it was perfect. So we got loads of people came down. For some reason, it was already like it was already like almost a club night kind of thing. But we were the main band there, which was cool. So there were loads of people there. There were some French people who actually knew the band, cool. So that's good. They're like right at the front row, like singing along, which was pretty cool because we weren't like on the way there. It was we had a funny journey there. But we already talked about it on the other podcast we were on. There was a trip to A&E on the way.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to tell us.
I have to tell. Right, so we were on track, on time.
Mm-hmm.
We were pretty much we were still in England.
Mm-hmm.
We got to pass passport check.
Yep.
So gone through everything, showing all our passports, everything, and we're just sort of driving towards the Eurotunnel, the train, to where you wait to board, and we were sort of passing our passports back to each other, and like we mess around a lot. We do have a lot of laughs, but Connor, who was in the front, he passed rather carelessly, threw back a passport, and it hit Alex on the head, and that sort of annoyed Alex. I was doing that in inverted commas, and Alex retaliated by throwing a passport at Connor, and it turned out that Connor turned towards Alex as he was throwing the passport, and it hit him. At first, we thought like directly in the eye.
Oh no!
So we were thinking, oh god, and because he was sort of like holding his face for a while, and then he sort of like looked up at Rye, who sat next to him, and his whole like eye was like really bloodshot, and there was blood sort of underneath.
Oh
like,
no!
And we like all started to freak out a bit.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I think Connor did say I can't see at one point or something.
Wow.
So it was quite a tense moment. So we had to like stop, and we got some like first aid people to come and sort of like have a look, and they said, yeah, you should probably go to hospital. So we went to it's about a 20-minute drive or so to the nearest hospital, and waited a couple of hours there. Connor got looked at for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
For like a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And he was fine. And they just cleaned his eye, checked him over, and it was all good in the end. But it was just like we and then on top of this, we were kind of unsure how this gig was going to go, because we were like, is there going to be no one here? We've just like we've been in hospital for 2 hours, and now we're like, it felt like everything was going against us. And then Rye was feeling ill, like quite seriously, sick, and it's like everything was against us a bit. But we just decided we're going to do it. We can't cancel. We're just going to do it. We're going to play a good gig.
And the gig went really well.
And then there were loads of people there, and it was a great night.
Amazing.
But we had to go back same night, so I got back to England to my flat at about 7:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, the morning after. So that was pretty bad.
God, yeah.
But it was. We were talking about what we're doing now. But yes, so now
I like the story. I like the rock and roll story.
Rambling story. So so we've just had a big break, and now we're sort of in the process of working out dates to record a few songs.
Okay.
Because we want to just keep releasing as much music as we can.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a gig on 15th.
15th of
Feb.
Okay.
So,
Where are you guys playing?
It's called Watling's Beer. It's in Tottenham, so it's like I think it's like an opening like night thing for this beer company.
Okay.
Sounds.
If that doesn't draw people down, nothing
beer,
will.
Come on.
Come and get beer at a gig.
I could have got that completely wrong. No, but I'm sure that's right. Yeah, it's Watling's Beer, and it's in Tottenham.
If you send me like a link to the event page or something, I can put it on the description.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I hope it's completely different, because I'm definitely not editing this out now.
No, I'm sure I've got it vaguely right.
No, I hope it's like the Cancer Research Trust or something. And you're like, nah, mate, I'll need loads of beer.
No, it's a proper event.
Okay, great. No, it sounds really good. Yeah, well, if that's on the 15th of Feb, we'll put the event description or something, and hopefully get some people down.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, and then I think we kind of, the thing we really want to do this year, over the next few months, is go on a support tour. Support a band who are probably a next step from us. You know, a bigger band, play some big venues. Just because it's fun doing a headline tour, but we have nowhere near as many fans regionally as we do in London.
Okay.
Because we can sell out Scala in London, but then you notice as you go to like Sheffield or Manchester that it's much quieter. So we just want to be able to go around the country, play to other people's fans, and
then you build your own following.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
so
that's how it works.
That is what we really want to do. I think this year going into summer.
Any particular bands you would want to support? Give them a choice.
I think there's probably. I think we'd go for not any band, but we just want to find the right band who's kind of vaguely similar to us, who maybe have a similar fan base. I couldn't say specifically really, because we're fairly open minded to it, but I think I'm sure the others have a specific bands they'd like to tour with, but I think it's it depends on what we can find who wants us to be on tour with. But,
so you're pretty open to the process,
yeah,
and
I don't
see where it
mind
takes
too
you.
much. I think it's as long as we we can be playing decent venues to a good number of people, then I think
Definitely, it's that exposure, isn't it? And then if nothing else, you can sell some t-shirts at a merch stand.
Yeah.
But I one thing I never understand at gigs, when if you go to watch a band and people don't turn up for the support, and it's like you have some of the main bands that I follow have been support bands that I found at gigs, and like, so if you're going to a gig with your mate and you don't particularly know the band or what, but you're just going because it's like you said with open mics, it's something to do. Sometimes you go see a show, and just for support band, you have no idea who they are. Like, oh my god, these guys are great, and you start following them more.
Yeah. Sometimes, it does happen. I'm trying to think of this. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's just because you're a support band doesn't mean people aren't gonna enjoy your music, or I think people do go partly to gigs to see not just the main band, but then also they want to see someone else find something new, maybe.
Definitely.
So
it's the whole experience.
Yeah.
What would you say that the biggest challenges that you guys have faced as a band up until this point, other than like passports in the eye? And
I think it's just I think making sure because we've all got jobs. I think it's working around that has been it's quite difficult if you're trying to work out days to rehearse, and if someone's working in the evenings, and then a lot of us can't work during the day because we're at work during the day. It can be quite a annoying thing. We not with each other. Just we want to be rehearsing and playing as much as possible. But
yeah, of course.
I think I probably it's probably that, and then finding ways to make money to be able to record, because we
definitely
we definitely feel like we could be recording more, and
have you ever done any sort of crowdfunding or like Patreon for YouTubers or anything like that?
Not really. We've just sort of, I think because Spotify is pretty good for us, it helps towards costs of doing gigs, getting to gigs, and recording as well. So that is like a good, certainly a good support. But no, we've never done any crowdfunding really. I don't think. No, not really.
It's funny how some people will fund an album. You know Justin Hawkins from The Darkness?
Yes.
I found out because I had a friend who his band supported them, and one of them was saying to me about how in order to record the first Darkness album, which was kind of like very much before home recording sort of really was mainstream, Justin had a jingles company, and he did jingles for Mars Bar, Coca-Cola, and like all these big companies and brands, and the money he got from that they used to fund the first Darkness album.
Oh wow, that sounds. I mean, jingles is that's a good money maker because I'm pretty sure you get paid. Certain things you can get paid every time it's played.
Yes,
so that's that can be like a huge thing if it's a decent advert.
Oh, the best ones about it. I met David Lowe, who did the theme tune for the BBC News.
Oh wow! So and that's like every time it's. Yeah.
Every time. So and then 24-hour news.
That's true as well. Wow.
And he told us because I think it was PRS, Performing Rights Society, who get the royalties.
Yeah.
They essentially had to take on like a whole new member of staff just for him, and they were they had no idea because they just kept getting every literally every second they were getting a backlog because it was still playing.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good gig to have.
So just
I mean, you don't even have to do anything. You've done that now.
Well, you're literally made for life, really, aren't you, and stuff like that with royalties. But obviously, because you're kind of working in. For Brains and Hutch.
Yes.
We were saying just before we started the interview. I spoke to Luke Cooper a little bit about this in a podcast, but we haven't released that one at the time of recording this. Do you want to tell us a bit about kind of your job there and what you do?
Yeah, I think there's not a whole lot to it. My job title is studio assistant, and so that involves it sort of ranges from doing. Making tea and coffee to helping them set up sessions but then there's admin stuff that he's doing. There's helping them, just keeping stuff organised. It's anything to assist them in making their jobs easier, really. So it varies a bit. I mean, today I was doing loads of admin. I was doing scanning lots of scores today. So I've been behind the screen.
You feel
in front of the screen. Yeah. In front of the screen all day. So but no, it's a really good experience to have because it's like they're a small company. It's just 3 of them there, 2 composers, and it's nice to because that is sort of a vaguely interesting area for me. I've been quite interested in composing and that side of things as well. So it is certainly a relevant place to be working. It's not. There's nothing wrong with working in a bar, but it's nice to be
music related in some way.
Do something that's has some relevance to what I want to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the tough thing. I was interviewing Kostas Magdalinos a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying pretty much every musician he knows, bar this one guy who's supporting Slipknot and kind of real top tier player. All of us have to do some sort of
something
day
on
job.
the side, yeah.
Whether obviously ideal world, maybe you'd be touring every week with Lunar Bay and making albums and everything as everyone would, but the reality is, I think in the modern music industry in this climate, you've got to have a day job.
Yeah.
And if you can make it related to music in any capacity, you're kind of winning at life.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have to find lots of ways of supporting yourself, so you can do the thing you want to be doing. I'd love to be doing Lunar Day full time and just be on tour and recording and not have to worry about doing other jobs. Although the thing I've got at the moment is really great for the moment, so I've got no complaints
That's
really.
good.
But yeah, no, in general, you do have to be doing other things, you know,
So we've all got to
besides
pay rent.
music. Yeah.
Okay, so where would you kind of see yourself going in the future with this job, or?
I don't know. I mean it. It's more. I think if Lunar Bay becomes something that can be a full-time thing, then obviously I can put other things
Kind of on hold and
on hold, yeah. So I think it's kind of I'm in a position where I'm sort of waiting to see where we go with Lunar Bay. I think it's obviously, I love doing it. It's like that's what I want to be doing.
Amazing.
Spending my time doing. So I'm sort of trying not to make too many plans because I want to be really dedicated to.
Be committed. Be open to that project.
But I don't know. I think it's certainly that area of things, doing composing or
Are you playing bass in any other projects at the moment?
Not really. No, I do fairly regularly do theatre shows. So I play
cool.
like a pit band, an orchestra or something, which I really enjoy doing. It's like completely different from doing Lunar Bay, where you're you're on stage and sort of centre of everything. I really enjoy doing that. So that's another sort of area I'm quite interested in. Obviously it's different, quite different, but.
No, I can relate. I've done sort of a theatre show style work before myself as a drummer, and it's it's a weird shift, isn't it? Because you obviously are a very integral part of the production, but at the same time,
you're not the focus, really, in a way,
because it's obviously like
especially not individually, as in when you're in a band on stage, like people will they'll look at you as a band, but then they'll also be focusing on you and looking less so if you're a bassist, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Guitar player, singer.
It's the singer and the lead guitarist, always the case.
Occasional glance at the drummer if they do a cool film or something, and then bass players.
They're not shrouded in darkness at the back somewhere.
So, what kind of theatre shows have you worked on?
I've mostly like amateur productions, like youth shows.
Okay.
But I haven't done any West End or anything. It's mostly just through people I know. My mum works partly as she produces shows for like a local theatre company.
Oh, cool.
Outside of London. Vivo Darte. I had to say that, otherwise she
just get the plug in.
Me, yeah. And so that's sort of helped. That was quite an early on thing when I was fairly young, about like 16 and 15. I did my first show, just playing bass. So I've got sort of a few contacts through that, and
great.
It's generally just like musicals and things which I quite enjoy.
Sounds a lot of fun. I guess it kind of like touched on the West End side of things. When like a lot of these amateur shows, depending on rights and whatever, like they do their productions of Mamma Mia or whatever it is on the West End. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's like you actually learn the scores, you learn the parts, and then it's just the different levels.
Yeah. No, I'm quite a fan of musicals. I'm not like, I don't know much about them, but I really enjoy sort of playing as part of playing along to actual like reading music and sort of, because you really sort of see where you are in the music and like what your role is, and it's a very contrasting thing to being in a band where you're sort of you can almost play what you want, but within reason.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know, it's where you have to, in theatre shows, you have to be in a certain place, certain time, playing the right thing. You know, it's not that you don't have to do that.
No, I know what you mean, but
you
it's
know, it's
almost
like
a more structured and
Yeah.
disciplined approach
Yes.
to it,
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
being a live.
You've
kind
got
of-
more freedom in a band where you can sort of, you know, add things you want to add and stuff. But yeah,
Definitely.
it's just quite a nice contrasting thing to do, really.
That's kind of, I think, one of the fun things of, you know, if you're playing in a band and you have a song that starts with these particular parts, and then a years down the line when you play the song, you know, 100 times live, you know, you start putting different fills in, or different feels or different approaches, but often when you're just, you know, playing the dots, as it were, playing these set parts for you in a theatre show, it is a very different set of skills.
Yeah.
And developing that discipline as well, I think it's difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, it's less. It's maybe there's less individuality in it, because it's, you know, you have to play what someone else has played, which is, I think, is a good discipline. You know, it's like, because with Lunar Bay I can kind of make my own bass lines, and play what I want to play. But you know, in theatre, you have to do, you know, what is written pretty much. You know, unless it indicates where, unless there's an indication in the score that says play, you know, just, you know, do a fill, you know,
Go crazy.
go crazy. I'm sure I've seen a score where it says something like that. It's a good. It's definitely a good discipline to have. I think reading music is really. I'm so glad I've learned how to do it.
Yes.
I don't think I'm not saying you have to do it, but for me personally, because I remember when I was sort of a bit younger, in sort of college doing BTEC in music, I was kind of quite anti doing any music theory or learning how to read.
Okay.
It's like the classic thing of saying like, oh, you know, it'll take away the soul of it.
Classic teenager approach.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn how to do that.
But I just decided, but I don't know, I can't remember. I think I gradually got pushed into it by my brother. I think my brother did say, just like, don't be so against it. Just you know, just do your grade 5 music theory, learn how to read a bit, and you know,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, that's one of the best things I've done. Just it's a really small thing ages ago. Just doing that, I think it sort of started an interest in like really sort of wanting to understand music and not just sort of playing bass and you know, I think it's probably like encouraged me to look into like writing for like an orchestra, pretty much.
Okay,
pretty much.
I see.
Because that was, I haven't done much of that recently, but when I was at BIM, I was on the composing and arranging module, and I loved doing that. It wasn't a perfect course because you have to cram so much in such a short period of time. Like, you're taught how to write for strings in like one lesson, and then it's on to brass next, which is just completely like
it's not enough time.
Yeah. But you know, there's nothing you can really do about that. But that, I think, just wanting, like, learning about music theory and learning how to read sort of triggered lots of other things, like an interest in other music than just sort of rock and pop. And I think it's sort of started an interest in learning about classical music. That broad term, but yeah.
No, I know what you mean. It
think,
gives you that overall outlook.
Rather than sort of just focusing on one sort of style of music or something. Yeah. Not that this is just me personally speaking. I'm not saying you can't do that without without having any you can love any kind of music without any knowledge of anything really. But no, I think it definitely sort of got me interested in really like trying to learn about music more deeply than just sort of playing it for fun.
Okay.
I think.
No, I think it's a really interesting observation, and it's interesting to see your journey on that and how it kind of began and developed, and is going to continue to develop on those kind of skills. As we kind of start to wrap up now, I guess, I kind of briefly touched on it a little bit in kind of asking about what bands you'd like to support, but would you say your main influences are as a musician?
Me personally?
Yeah.
So that's difficult. I think
it's a broad question.
In terms of bass, I'll do two. So in terms of bass, I think initially I loved. I listened to. I think it was partly my parents' influence, but I used to listen to loads like. I think from the 60s to the 80s is kind of like loads of music I listened to. I barely listened to any modern music when I was younger. So I used to listen to like The Cure.
Okay.
Because they have lots of like not like really complicated bass lines, but they're quite cool. The same with like Joy Division.
Yeah.
Or, even The Clash. I haven't listened to The Clash in years, but like I'm just thinking, and like trying to think. Yeah, that kind of area, that was like the initial like thing that got me into like playing bass. I think was like anything with like a cool bass line. I think there's something about in the 80s there was some like lots of cool bass lines going on, and like like I said, The Cure. That's definitely one I remember. But in terms of like general like songwriting heroes, again tends to be older artists. I'm unashamedly a Burt Bacharach enthusiast and evangelist, which is probably quite shocking to some people.
I think that's fine. I mean, it's whatever you draw inspiration and influence from. It's not what I thought you were going to say.
No, that's right.
Fair play to you.
I'm a huge fan of like 70s singer-songwriters as well. So I really like Carole King.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah.
Joni Mitchell, Jimmy Webb. So that's in terms of like for my personal like songwriting inspiration. That's very much like the sort of where I sort of draw a lot of inspiration. But I don't know. It's
There's
quite
so
difficult.
much,
There's
isn't
so
there?
much, I could list for ages everything, but I probably shouldn't. But yeah, I think that's probably broadly, without going into too much detail, the sort of my
that's great.
But,
well, it's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show and having a chat about kind of what you're working on right now with Lunar Bay and where that's going to go next. So it was Saturday, 15th of February.
Yeah. I'm sure I've got it right.
We definitely send me the link. We'll put it in this
will,
description and we'll make sure we get it. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on the show, Sammy. And we'll chat again soon, hopefully.